Well, hello there, welcome to the homeland of the Tifosi round 13 Monza for my F1 2012 career mode season 3 round 13. Now this is my Q2 lap actually, for reasons I will explain in a second. Now you can see the sky is cloudy. Okay, I accept cloudy. But it did say 0% chance of rain, and obviously you would set up your car to be doing very well in the wet. In the dry, of course. And yeah, you don't expect any rain to fall when it says 0% chance of rain. 1% chance of rain I would have accepted. But towards the end of this session it started raining, and in Q3 you had to use wet tyres because it was absolutely pissing down. Thank you very much, Codemasters. Love you too. So I didn't actually compete in Q3. I didn't bother setting a time because I was about 2 or 3 seconds off the pace. As you'll be able to see in this Q2 lap that I'm on the pace, albeit within 1/10 of a second of pole time. Provisional pole anyway. So yeah, I didn't bother setting a time because I was a little bit pissed off as well. Because you don't expect the AI to be that much faster than you, to be honest. And last time I was here, I think I qualified in the wet and on pole. Last season, I can't exactly remember, but I done it in a Mercedes, so why couldn't I have done it in a Ferrari? So that's a bit effing weird. Also, yes, Grosjean is my rival because I accidentally selected him. I didn't really mean to. I sort of pressed too many buttons, and there he is. I was meant to choose one of them, the McLaren boys, but there you go. My mistake, and I could end up losing the rivalry because Grosjean is actually pretty quick this season. So, we didn't get a good start. Well, it's not brilliant. I'm just about hanging on here. It's all about the first corner, which I accidentally found a gap, which was pretty good. Sort of bumping and grinding around here, but got through pretty cleanly. And for some reason they slowed down sometimes here, so I can make a move around the outside and slot into 5th behind Schumacher. Ideally I want to catch up to Grosjean. Oh, went in a bit too rich there. Forced Grosjean wide a bit. Not very sporting of me. That's the sort of move out of the Prez textbook of overtaking moves. Yes, I'm referring to Monaco this weekend, which was, as usual, a procession. As the Mercedes goes past me. Mercedes of Schumacher. So yes, the Mercedes managed to go on the front row of the grid again. But this time they actually managed to hold on to the win, which wasn't really surprising. Really, they slowed the car, they slowed the field right up, and they, you know, Monaco being Monaco, you can't hardly overtake at all. You know, Perez got lucky a few times, and then ended up being wedged against the wall by Raikkonen down at the chicane. Which I blame Perez for because he left that way too late to make a move, just like I have almost done there. Just wanted to avoid hitting Schumacher there, and now he's going to get away. There is a slight problem with my setup. Yes, again. Again, there's a problem with the setup, but this time it's something I couldn't have identified in practice. It's the fact that my gearing is a little bit too long and it's hurting my acceleration. My top speed is brilliant. But getting up to that top speed is painfully slow, so which means the other cars can get away from me quite easily, so I'm a little bit of a disadvantage today, which is unfortunate, probably reflecting the real world 2012 Ferrari, but hey ho, never mind. As long as I stay in front of Grosjean, that's all that matters, and I don't know quite where he's gone. He must be down the back somewhere. I can't quite see him on the map, but oh, I know, he's not that far behind. Should be the blue dot, at least he's easily identified. Looks like he's actually dropped to the back. He must have had some sort of problem in a Ascari. At least I think that's a blue dot. My brain might be playing tricks on me. Oh, Grosjean 21st, yeah, so he did have a problem. There's also some straggler at the back as well on his own. So they're not doing too well. So I'm in P4 for now. The main task today is to hold on to at least as many points as I can, because it looks like Grosjean's not going to get many points, if any today. And me being second in the championship, I could really do with the points just to catch up again. But yeah, there you go. Things look like they've settled down for now on track here. Got Hamilton behind me, but I should be able to hold him off. I'm going to have to use most of my curves, if not all of it, on this straight, because they are insanely fast coming through there. As you can see, Hamilton with DRS open has got so much more overspeed. And I think I do lose this position actually. I don't think I'm going to be able to get that back unless I can pull something out of the bag with the DRS on the run down to turn 1. We'll just have to see. Oh shit. Yeah, ran a bit too wide, that's what happened. Yeah. Now Raikkonen's got such a run on me, it's unreal. Now I've got DRS on him. See if I can get round the outside. Wedged into him. Oh, I sent him off. Now I'm going to get a penalty for that. Yeah, which is quite harsh, but it's deserved in my opinion. I did push him out off into the gravel after all, and it affected his race. So there you go. I'm going to have to go drive-through penalty. And still got to have my tyre change as well, so it's about the equivalent of 2 pit stops, which is not ideal at all. It could throw me out the points here. I seem to be here in a little bit of a bad patch at the moment. You'll see I have some more problems in the next race, even though I was insanely quick. You'll see what happens when that video comes along. Penalty reminder. Oh, brilliant. Kobayashi managed to get past me as well. And by now I am getting quite irritated in the car. Driving along swearing to myself. That's just how it is. Had to lift off again because I knew I was going to go into the gravel. So I'm going to serve my drive through now. Stick my middle finger up to the cameras if I could. And now my plan is to eke out these tyres as far as I can before I have to come in for new mediums, is it? Prime tyres. So I've slotted in right behind Kovalainen here, who is battling with Senna. Looks like the other Caterham is in front of Kovalainen there. Senna was easy prey. Felipe is actually ahead of me for once, which makes a change. But he's still not in the points. Oh, bloody hell. Well, I had to cock that one right up, didn't I? Oh, Lotus! Oh, it's Grosjean! Oh, God. Now he's broke my wing, broke his wing on my car. Yeah, we're connecting quite a lot today. But it looks like Grosjean's dropping back again. That damage was a bit too much for him. As long as I beat him in the next in a few races to come till the end of the season, I might get an offer for a Lotus seat. Well, I mean, ideally I want to go to McLaren, but you know, Lotus isn't too shabby. I mean, the Ferrari is not as great as I thought it might have been. It started well at the start of the season, but now I'm sort of hitting a bad patch. And also I'm coming up to the bit of the season on the tracks that I'm not actually that strong on. India, for example, I'm quite slow on. India, Japan I'm not especially quick on either, but once I get the rhythm there I'm pretty half decent. Singapore's a good track for me if I've got my car feeling good. Abu Dhabi is absolutely fine unless it's raining, which is a big problem because there's hardly any grip there. America I'm not too bad at actually, half decent in that, and then Brazil I'm not good at all, so this could get a bit dicey towards the end of the season in terms of the championship, because I'm playing catch up to Grosjean now, so I need to get a move on. But let's see how it goes. But anyway, let's talk about the Monaco Grand Prix, which was a couple of days ago. Now. I'm actually redoing this commentary. I've already done this once. I've done it before the weekend, but I decided to redo the commentary because of my problems with my internet last week. Couldn't really upload anything because it just kept cutting out, and I upload these when I'm asleep, so it didn't really help because I didn't know the internet had been cut off. It had just been generally unstable all week, so that's why there have been absolutely nothing. No videos for God knows how long now. Must be about a week and a half or something silly. So yeah, apologise for that. It's just a bit of a bad patch. So hopefully things will be back to normal today. Hopefully the internet won't be a little bitch. Yeah, right. So back to what I was actually going to talk about, the Monaco Grand Prix. As I've moved up to 10th there. Might be alright to do this. So, Nico Rosberg wins, and 30 years after his father won it, which was quite some. It's a very interesting feat, especially when the number is so round. I mean, 30 years. It could have been like 31, 29, or something like that, but it had to be 30, which made it all the more special. So a big congratulations to him, but the Mercedes, not being funny, but they wouldn't. If it wasn't Monaco, they wouldn't have won. No way. There's just no overtaking in Monaco. You just can't do it. I mean, Perez tried, yeah, succeeded a couple of times. The only time you see overtaking at Monaco is when the pace is so slow, which it was really slow because of the Mercedes. Red Bull would have easily won that race if Mercedes weren't in their way, or the safety car. Safety car actually came into Rosberg's advantage, I think, because the time he had to change his tyres was when the safety car was sort of in and around, so he got lucky there. Hamilton messed up his timings because they were going to stack both Mercedes in the pit lane, going to change one after the other. But he left it too long, and then that meant the Red Bulls snuck past him. Though he did have a really good try on Webber around Raskas. That was a really good move, but he didn't quite manage to pull it off. Which is unfortunate. Grosjean and Maldonado back to their crashing ways. Although I don't particularly blame Maldonado for his crash, which stopped the race, because that was more Chilton's fault. He actually moved in on Maldonado. Obviously he didn't mean to, but Maldonado is just there, and because Monaco is so tight, it did manage to whack him into the barriers as he catapulted himself over his own front wing. And Grosjean just complete misjudgment. I don't think he's feeling very good at the moment, especially after he's meant to be reviewed every 3 races to see his suitability for racing. That won't be very good for his record, will it? So just remains to see if he'll be in a car next season, eh? Which is unfortunate because the guy's really quick, but he just cannot race in close quarters. Not in a Formula 1 car anyway. I don't know what it was like in his previous years, GP2 and all that jazz. But in Formula 1, he's got a bit of an issue. What else? Oh god, Perez and Raikkonen. You really pissed off the Iceman. Someone who's really cool and calm and collected, is not really that bothered. Really pissed him off so much that Raikkonen suggested that Perez should get a punch in the face, which is quite hilarious, really. It's typical Kimi. Doesn't mince his words, that's for sure. And obviously the media have pounced on that one. But I say, oh, so what? Just let him speak his mind. It's not as if he's actually going to punch him in the face, as much as he'd like to. But that was a bit too much from Perez, though. As I say, he did make some excellent moves. The one on Button, where he actually got past cleanly, was quite amazing. But all the others, not all the others, but the others he had instant in, and he tried to get into the pits when he had damage on the last lap he did. That was quite comical when Button got in his way. Of all the people, Button blocked his way into the pits. Obviously unintentionally, but you know, it was quite hilarious. Oh well. Yeah, I mean, it's good to see Perez taking those sorts of risks and trying to make the sport a bit fun, a bit of a spectacle for racing fans, but it's Monaco, you just can't do that sort of thing without paying for it. So, really unfortunate, because he did earn the places he got most of the time. So, yeah, let's see what happens in the coming weeks. Whether Perez gets told to, gets a bit told off by the boss of McLaren or something, I don't know. I'd be surprised. That's what the fans want to see anyway, so whatevs. So, who's threatening me here? Hamilton, yeah, he's right behind me, trying to make my life a misery. So I'm up in 4th. I actually had a rule reminder to stop for prime tyres, which obviously I will. I'm keeping that menu up to the right there to see if I can rejoin in 10th, because ideally I'd want at least a point. But at the minute it says 12th to 13th, so it's not ideal. I'm starting to lose a little bit of grip in the tyres, and at that point, if I lose too much grip, I'll end up losing positions when I come out the pits again, so I need to balance it quite finely. But yeah, Hamilton is really pressuring me here at the moment. Oh wow, yeah, I've only got a couple of laps to go as well, haven't I? So what else about Monaco? Not much, I don't think. Oh yeah, Grosjean got a grid penalty for Canada for going into the back of Ricciardo, which is definitely deserved. I don't think much else actually happened. I mean, it was quite a slow race. I mean, Sebastian proved a point by setting the fastest lap, and I heard Eddie Jordan say at the end of the BBC coverage that Red Bull were off the pace, and so what world are you on, Eddie? Seriously, Red Bull could have easily got in front. Maybe if the situation was different and the safety car wasn't there, Vettel might have got past, and they might have had a 1-2. But yeah, that was such a slow race, and it was kind of irritating that they were looking after the tyres as usual. But what can you do? It's up to Pirelli. Let's see what the tyres are going to be like in Canada. I think they should have just kept tyres to the 2012 spec, because that was, the balance was sort of right there, especially towards the end of the season. But we'll see how it goes. 2 weeks to wait. It's going to be it's always excruciating to wait to the next Grand Prix. You just want it to happen like every day pretty much. But yeah, should be fun. And I expect, unless Mercedes sort out their tyre wear issues, I expect you won't really see Mercedes winning anymore. I'd be surprised. And Force India's had a good race though. Adrian Sutil finished in 5th. It's a good result. Fernando Alonso went backwards, unfortunately. Massa's crash was down to a suspension failure. He done an identical crash in the practice session before qualifying, which meant he had to start at the back of the grid pretty much. But in the race, that crash was actually caused by a suspension failure rather than driver error that was in practice. So it was just very weird that the suspension went buckled like that, especially on a Ferrari, because they are very reliable cars. Massa was probably a bit shaken because he had a bit of a neck brace on him after that crash, but yeah, it's just precaution really. I don't think he's done any real damage. And the safety features that are in these cars nowadays with the hands device and all that, it's made F1 very, very safe compared to what it used to be. So we're all grateful for that, and he was able to walk away without any particular injuries, which is good. Just a bit shaken up. And talking of Nico Rosberg, he actually won this race as well. So, good for him. Oh, Massa's behind me in 12th, so I've come home in 11th, so obviously missed out on points there. But Grosjean hasn't gone any further. He finished in 18th. Not the sort of 1-2 I wanted with Felipe, but whatever. We're just entering a bit of a bad patch on my part. We're never going to win the Constructors anyway, so what the hell. So there you go, there's the race result. 2 Germans and a Brit on the podium. Maximum points for Mercedes, so they'll be chasing after whoever's in 2nd. Or Mercedes in 2nd, I can't remember. And there's the rest of the results. And everyone actually finished as well.
You're still 2nd in the Drivers' Championship.
So there you go, yeah, 2nd in Drivers' Championship, only 3 points behind still. Kimi is 13 points behind Grosjean. And you got the McLarens, Mercedes, and then Pastor Maldonado in 8th. Vettel down in 13th, he's having another bad season. And Massa with his 1 solitary point there. So there you go. Yeah, okay, so... Oh yes, Lotus are up top with McLaren and Mercedes. Mercedes are about 18 points behind McLaren now, so they could end up going for 2nd here. We're pretty safe in 4th, in front of Red Bull. So there you go, another disappointing day for me. But there you go, join me next time for round 14 Singapore. I'll see you then.